Our guest is Sean Hayes, who's currently starring in the Broadway revival of the musical Promises, Promises. A few weeks before the show opened, Sean Hayes publicly came out as gay in an interview with The Advocate. After the show opened, in the May 10th issue of Newsweek, a controversial essay by Ramin Satuda questioned whether gay actors like Hayes could convincingly play straight characters. Satuda wrote, "It's weird seeing Hayes play straight. He comes off as wooden and insincere, like he's trying to hide something, which, of course, he is. While it's okay for straight actors to play gay, it's rare for someone to pull off the trick in reverse," unquote. Sean Hayes' co-star Kristen Chenoweth described the Newsweek essay as horrendously homophobic, a sentiment shared by many angry readers. Sean Hayes has said little about the article, though he called it asinine on the TV program The View. Before the magazine hit the stands, during the Promises, Promises opening week, Terry Gross asked Sean Hayes about coming out and about playing the character Jack on the NBC sitcom Will and Grace.
One of the things about your character, Jack, is that he always wanted to have, like a one-man show in which he'd sing, do a little dancing. And now that you've made your Broadway singing debut, I thought it'd be fun to listen back to Jack singing. And he had this ambition to do, the show Jack 2000 and Jack 2001. So here's a scene in which he's trying to cheer Grace, who's sick and in bed. He's trying to cheer her up by singing.
Anyway, I find that the one thing that really makes people smile is my music. Or my oddly long tongue. Your choice.
Music.
Good! Because I finally figured out how to make Jack 2001 different than Jack 2000.
You gonna get an audience?
No. I'm gonna sing a medley of songs with the word one in them. Yeah. So let the healing begin. Hit it! You're still the one I want to talk to in bed. Hey, still the one that turns my head. You're still having fun, and you're still the one. Singular sensation. Every little step she takes. Ski, one. Thrilling combination. Every move that she makes. One less bell to answer. One less egg to fry. One less man to pick up after. I should be happy, but all I do is cry. Oh, Grace, you're crying. Oh, is it because of my song? I can't believe I made you cry.
It's okay.
Okay, it's great! I did it! I finally moved someone to tears with my art!
Sean Hayes in a scene from Will and Grace. How is your character of Jack described in that first script, the one that you used to audition?
Oh, gosh, I don't remember. But to me, at the beginning of Will and Grace, I played Jack as the funny next-door neighbor type, as we've seen in the past. And I thought that was my role. I didn't really play into the gay part as much, the stereotypical gay part. And I have to say, the critics, for not being that educated about the gay lifestyle, I think pegged Jack as the flamboyant, extremely gay character, because they didn't know what else to call him. Because if Will is seemingly straight acting, then Jack must be very feminine and very flamboyant. Whereas I wasn't playing him as feminine, because I know a lot of gay guys who are extremely feminine, kind of like Carson Kressley type from the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Those snapping kind of girly, that to me was stereotypical gay, the very feminine gay guy. But if you didn't label Jack as gay, and he would have just been the funny next door neighbor who had a lot of energy, the way Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, Marty Short, any of these guys did.
So you changed your interpretation of the character as time went on?
Definitely, 100%. Because I wanted to explore I wanted more distance between the two types of gay characters, between Jack and Will. If you look at the first season, Jack's not, there's the mannerisms and a lot of the dialogue is more towards the stereotypical flamboyant gay guy, but a lot of the mannerisms aren't. And then as time went on, I added more and more and more and more.
Now, you've used the word stereotypical. Were you afraid that at some point you would be playing into a stereotype?
At that point, I didn't really care. I knew what was funny and what was true to that character, to the growth of Jack, to that character. And so what was true to the growth of that character was to play him that way. That was so well written, so well written.
Right before Promises opened, you did an interview with The Advocate in which you acknowledged you were gay, whereas previously you declined to talk about that, saying that the less people knew about your personal life, the more open-minded they could be about each role that you played. And I was wondering, why now?
So we wouldn't have to talk about it?
And so here am I talking about it.
Right.
Is that your point?
Yeah.
Okay. So can I just ask you?
Because it's it's just there's nothing relevant about someone's sexuality to what they do for a living.
But what's relevant to me is that your first big roles, both in Billy's Hollywood Screen Kiss and in Will and Grace, were as gay characters. And I think probably for a lot of young gay people in particular, it's great to have gay characters on screen because not until recently were there any.
Well, Billy Crystal in the 70s on Soap. I mean, there's tons of examples. But I think any positive that has come out from me playing gay characters in TV or film is amazing and a wonderful byproduct of what I've done. And if it's helped anybody, then my life is complete because that's a wonderful thing.
Well, one of the things that you did was a made-for-TV movie about Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. You played Jerry Lewis. Jeremy Northam played Dean Martin. And what did you most pick up on watching hours and hours and hours of Jerry Lewis?
What did I most pick up on? Very similar kind of sense of what I went through as playing Jack and Will and Grace, which was how different the man was off stage than he was playing, as he called, the idiot. Jerry Lewis I don't know if a lot of people know this, Jerry Lewis referred to his on-camera persona, whether in movies or TV, as the idiot. And so the idiot couldn't be further from who Jerry Lewis was. And I kind of can completely relate to that, whereas people recognize me as the idiot Jack. But I don't see myself as that. I know others do, but I don't. But that's what I picked up most upon.
So why don't we hear a scene with you as Jerry Lewis from the Jerry Lewis movie that was made for TV. And in this scene, Dean Martin, played by Jeremy Northam, is doing his act at a club, and you kind of crash the act. You come in dressed as a waiter and with a tower of dishes on your arm that you keep dropping, and they come crashing to the floor as Dean Martin is doing his act. So here's the scene.
And when I look up at the stars and ask them all what's new, they join me in the answer, darling, it's you, my own.
Excuse me, pardon me, I'm coming through. Excuse me, pardon me. Sorry.
Hold there. What the hell's the kid doing?
I'm very sorry, kind sir. I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
Oh, no. I was getting kind of tired of that song anyway.
So was the audience, but I didn't want to say nothing.
Oh, wise guy.
What? Go ahead, Mr. Singer. Make like I'm not even here. I'm not here.
I wish you'd make like you weren't even here.
That's a scene with Sean Hayes as Jerry Lewis and Jeremy Northam as Dean Martin. So
That brings back great memories.
does it?
Yeah, it was really fun to do that.
I know. I was wondering if maybe you didn't draw on what you learned from that just a little bit for your role in Promises, Promises. Just like
Playing Jerry Lewis?
Just a little bit of Jerry Lewis in there. Yeah.
Yeah, people have said that. I wasn't conscious, but if you picked up on that, maybe it was subconscious. But that's actually, I love that scene. That's a really funny story, true story about how they began working together. Was Jerry saw that Dean wasn't doing too well with the audience at that time, and wanted to kind of amp it up a bit and get the audience going. So he came in with plates and just started dropping. I mean, the guy was fearless. I love that. And that's how that relationship started. It was a beautiful thing.
Well, Sean Hayes, thanks so much for talking with us, and good luck with Promises, Promises.
Thank you so much.
Sean Hayes speaking with Terry Gross. He's nominated for a Tony Award for his performance in the Broadway revival of Promises, Promises, and he's hosting the Tony Awards Sunday night. We'll hear from Burt Bacharach and Hal David, who wrote the music for Promises, Promises in the second half of the show.